Verses 26 to 31. He is, in a particular manner, the creator of men, of all men. v. 26. He made of one blood all nations of men. He made the first man, he makes every man, is the former of every man's body and the father of every man's spirit. He has made the nations of men, not only all men in the nations, but as nations in their political capacity. He is their founder, and disposed them into communities for their mutual preservation and benefit. He made them all of one blood, of one and the same nature. He fashions their heart alike. Descended from one and the same common ancestor, in Adam they are all akin, so they are in Noah, that hereby they might be engaged in mutual affection and assistance, as fellow creatures and brethren. Have we not all one Father? Hath not one God created us? Mal 2:10. He hath made them to dwell on all the face of the earth, which, as a bountiful benefactor, he has given, with all its fullness, to the children of men. He made them not to live in one place, but to be dispersed over all the earth. One nation therefore ought not to look with contempt upon another, as the Greeks did upon all other nations, for those on all the face of the earth are of the same blood. The Athenians boasted that they sprung out of their own earth, were aborigines, and nothing akin by blood to any other nation, which proud conceit of themselves the apostle here takes down. That he is the great benefactor of the whole creation, v. 25. He giveth to all life, and breath, and all things. He not only breathed into the first man the breath of life, but still breathes it into every man. He gave us these souls, he formed the spirit of man within him. He not only gave us our life and breath, when he brought us into being, but he is continually giving them to us. His providence is a continued creation. He holds our souls in life, every moment our breath goes forth, but he graciously gives it us again the next moment. It is no only his air that we breathe in, but it is in his hand that our breath is. Dan 5:23. He gives to all the children of men their life and breath, for as the meanest of the children of men live upon him, and receive from him, so the greatest, the wisest philosophers and mightiest potentates, cannot live without him. He gives to all, not only to all the children of men, but to the inferior creatures, to all animals, everything wherein is the breath of life. General 6:17. They have their life and breath from him, and where he gives life and breath he gives all things, all other things needful for the support of life. The earth is full of his goodness. PS 104:24, 27. That he is the sovereign disposer of all the affairs of the children of men, according to the counsel of his will. v. 26. He hath determined the times before appointed, and the bounds of their habitation. The sovereignty of God's disposal concerning us. He hath determined every event. Horaces, the matter is fixed. The disposals of providence are incontestable and must not be disputed, unchangeable and cannot be altered. The wisdom of his disposals. He hath determined what was before appointed. The determinations of the eternal mind are not sudden resolves, but the counterparts of an eternal counsel, the copies of divine decrees. He performeth the thing that is appointed for me. Job 23:14. Whatever comes forth from God was before all worlds hid in God. The things about which his providence is conversant, these are time and place. The times and places of our living in this world are determined and appointed by the God that made us. He has determined the times that are concerning us. Times to us seem changeable, but God has fixed them. Our times are in his hand, to lengthen or shorten, embitter or sweeten, as he pleases. He has appointed and determined the time of our coming into the world, and the time of our continuance in the world, our time to be born, and our time to die. Eccle 3:1, 2, and all that little that lies between them, the time of all our concernments in this world. Whether they be prosperous times or calamitous times, it is he that has determined them, and on him we must depend, with reference to the times that are yet before us. He has also determined and appointed the bounds of our habitation. He that appointed the earth to be a habitation for the children of men has appointed to the children of men a distinction of habitations upon the earth, has instituted such a thing as property, to which he has set bounds to keep us from trespassing one upon another. The particular habitations in which our lot is cast, the place of our nativity and of our settlement, are of God's determining and appointing, which is a reason why we should accommodate ourselves to the habitations we are in, and make the best of that which is. That he is not far from every one of us, v. 27. He is everywhere present, not only is at our right hand, but has possessed our reins, PS 139:13, has his eye upon us at all times, and knows us better than we know ourselves. Idolaters made images of God, that they might have him with them in those images, the absurdity of which the apostle here shows, for he in an infinite spirit, that is not far from any of us, and never the nearer, but in one sense the further off from us, for our pretending to realize or presentiate him to ourselves by any image. He is nigh unto us, both to receive the homage we render him and to give the mercies we ask of him, wherever we are, though near no altar, image, or temple. The Lord of all, as he is rich, Rom 10:12, so he is nigh, do 4:7, to all that call upon him. He that wills us to pray everywhere, assures us that he is nowhere far from us, whatever country, nation, or profession we are of, whatever our rank and condition in the world are, be we in a palace or in a cottage, in a crowd or in a corner, in a city or in a desert, in the depths of the sea or afar off upon the sea, this is certain, God is not far from every one of us. That in him we live, and move, and have our being, v. 28. We have a necessary and constant dependence upon his providence, as the streams have upon the spring, and the beams upon the sun. In him we live, that is, the continuance of our lives is owing to him and the constant influence of his providence, he is our life, and the length of our days. It is not only owing to his patience and pity that our forfeited lives are not cut off, but it is owing to his power and goodness and fatherly care, that our frail lives are prolonged. There needs not a positive act of his wrath to destroy us, if he suspend the positive acts of his goodness, we die of ourselves. In him we move, it is by the uninterrupted concourse of his providence that our souls move in their outgoings and operations, that our thoughts run to and fro about 1,000 subjects, and our affections run out towards their proper objects. It is likewise by him that our souls move our bodies, we cannot stir a hand, or foot, or a tongue, but by him, who, as he is the first cause, so he is the first mover. In him we have our being, not only from him we had it at first, but in him we have it still, to his continued care and goodness we owe it, not only that we have a being and are not sunk into non-entity, but that we have our being, have this being, were and still are of such a noble rank of beings, capable of knowing and enjoying God, and are not thrust into the meanness of brutes, nor the misery of devils. That upon the whole matter we are God's offspring, he is our Father that begot us, do 32:6-18, and he hath nourished and brought us up as children, Isa 1:2. The confession of an adversary in such a case is always looked upon to be of use as argumentum ad hominem, an argument to the man, and therefore the apostle here quotes a saying of one of the Greek poets, Aratus, a native of Cilicia, Paul's countryman, who, in his Phenomena, in the beginning of his book, speaking of the heathen Jupiter, that is, in the poetical dialect, the supreme God, says this of him, Tou gar kai genos esmen, for we are also his offspring. And he might have quoted other poets to the purpose of what he was speaking, that in God we live and move,